Adam?
Yeah, so I think the more pressing... Oh, by the way, sorry, Adam from Akshon Esports. I think the most pressing question on everybody's mind was, like, what was going on in that last match in your mind? Like, you guys were both drawing really, really hard-hitting flat hands.
Yeah, that was one of the weirder games I played ever. It felt so weird. I knew that I needed like one action. I was pulling ahead in the early game. I knew that like one big spell and this is pretty much locked up. And when your opponent playing the same deck as you, also seeing a lot of cards in hand, you know that even though I'm ahead on board, I didn't have a big board. I had a lot, but not things that really did stuff. I knew that he was also probably just like one card away from turning the game around. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty nerve-wracking, and it played out really weird.
For sure. Quick follow-up on that. Mm-hmm. So when his hand size got to like that really, fat hand with the two flame tongues and the two bloodlusts and all that, were you able to kind of read exactly what that was at that point that he wasn't playing?
Yeah. I had him a double bloodlust, like that's the only explanation. Frall was also in the hand, pretty obvious. I thought for a long time that there was a devolve, and for some turns I also thought that the second portal was probably in hand since he used the first one so early. But it turned out that was wrong. But those reads on like the double bloodlust and the Frall was pretty easy to read.
Dylan?
Dylan from Hearthstone. What are your thoughts going into a Shaman mirror for a spot at Worlds, since it's usually a little more RNG based with all the evolves?
Shaman, I actually think I said the exact same thing in the last interview, but Shaman mirror is like one of the board centric mirrors, a true mid range mirror with a lot of different interaction. Like there's lots of ways to take the game. It's the deck I'm probably the most experienced on of all four of my decks. So I felt confident going in. I of course, like when you're sitting there, you're not thinking about, wow, this game is going to be random or something. Like those, you just push those thoughts away, or like they're just not there to begin with. So I felt good. Shaman mirror is, I like that mirror.
Hi, Ben from Indy. Can you walk us through the whole HCT journey for you this year, dating back from the playoffs? It seems that, if I remember correctly, it seems that every time you were almost out, but you managed to get in to the next stage.
These playoffs have been a roller coaster to say the least. It was my first playoffs. First of all, I've never played in a playoffs before. I get to the venue, play my first match, get 0-3'd in like 2 minutes. No, not 2 minutes, but like 10. It was a very, very quick match. And at that point, you're just like, well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. Guess I'm not going there. I managed to win my 5 next matches. It's better. Knew I had to win the last one to get in on breakers. Face Pavel, who is undefeated. And it looks like, well, if I lose, I'm out. And I managed to lose. So I'm sure, like, am I going to get like 9 or 10? And then the tiebreakers helped me out in the last round, mainly because of Pavel, ironically. And I get into the top 8. And in the top 8, I'm also down 1-2. And looks like I'm pretty dead, but managed to claw back. And then here I also lost the first match. And then managed to win 3 in a row. So it's not only once, but or twice, like at several points, I've been almost convinced that it's supposed to end on my HCT run. But now I'm in Worlds, so it's pretty amazing.
What are your thoughts going into your next matchup?
It's pretty interesting. It's against Jason Shao. It's the only loss Purple has in the tournament, and me and Purple runs the same lineup. Been looking over his decks. Of course, I was focused on my quarterfinals, so I didn't have a lot of time, but I remember what I talked with Purple about when we talked about Jason. I'm unfavored. His lineup is really good against Shaman. I've been able to 3-0 Shaman in a couple of series, or in 2 series already. So I hope that I can keep bullying that deck, but the other decks are going to be really rough for me to beat.
The ACT, the Worlds rosters are getting more and more stacked right now, and by now, maybe apart from the China's last call qualifier, almost every other region's last call is pretty much determined. So you should have a very clear view of the final 16 big names.
Yeah.
What do you think of your chance in the Worlds?
I never like really look at myself as the underdog. I've thought of this lately. I think I praise a lot of players. I have huge respect for a ton of players, but I never really see myself as an underdog. I like my chances. I definitely think I have it in me to win the World Championship, even though almost every single opponent there are someone I respect a whole lot.
Well, according to your history, career history, you either go big or you just stumbled really early and were out.
Yeah, it's been a lot like that. I have a lot of friends in the house scene that, like, for example, Powder always gets to the final in tournaments, but like always falls a little bit short. For me, it's been the total opposite. Like, if I reach a certain stage, it just feels like I've been able to pull off a win. I hope that is true for this championship too. But I managed to get to my goal. I hope it won't stop. Like, I hope I will keep getting there. It's pretty nice, not gonna lie. Yeah.
Any other last questions?
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Congrats.
Thank you.